Ooh, pipe up. We are here. SPL week 5. Blunder versus Kickasser. Sun and Moon OU. So let's just hop right into it. Let's get into some backstory first of all, because I feel like I haven't even talked about SPL really. And this SPL has been a blast for me, honestly. So I gotta talk about it. I've been having a blast. So I took my break on Smogon after I won Smogon Tour back in June. Like I was kind of around, but like I left the Smogon Tour Discords and all that shit because I just didn't want anyone to contact me while I wasn't like involved, because you know I was just taking a break. But I had to come back for SPL because I was like, I need to win an SPL, bro. I'm too far and I'm so fire right now, so I just had to come back. So I came back. I told the Dragon Spiral Tyrants, my team, I said, you guys need to get me and we're gonna make the strongest team with SPL. And that's exactly what we did. So SPL, I got all my goons on my team, like all my friends. Joey's on it too, obviously. CTC's on it. CB's there. I got my boy Poek, ICT. I got too much gang on that team. But anyway, we started off the season, right? So we just finished week 5. But we started off the season week 1. We got tossed 4-8. So you have to win at least 7-5. It's 12 games in the series, and you got to win at least 7. First week we got tossed 4-8. Second week we were down 0-4. So like we were like doing so bad, and the team we were playing, the Ruiners, trash ass team, choked the lead that they were up 4-0. We were able to even it up 6-6, and then from there we were like no more losing, and team went off. We won 9-3 week 3, we won 9-3 week 4, and this week we won 8-4. Spoiler, but when me and Kickasser played, it was like 4-1. But yeah, so going into this, oh yeah, also SPL has just been a blast because I don't know what changed, but when I came back to Smogon, I started talking so much fucking shit. I mean, I always talk shit, but like I don't know, I like turned into like super cancer when I came back, and now I want all the smoke. I talk shit to everybody. I just gotta let everybody know they're garbage. So it's been a blast because everybody hates our team. I'm like Smogon public enemy #1 right now, but shit, you wanna shut me up? Just beat me, pussies. So let's hop right back into the battle. So Blunder versus Kickasser. So Kickasser was 4-0 going into our game. He was undefeated. I was 3-1 because I had lost the game to ABR week 3. And he actually told me, he picked me out before the week. He's like, bro, I want to play you. I was like, I'll take a challenge, bro. See, Dumas challenged me. You saw how that went for him. So, bro, please challenge me. Let's get to it. So Kickasser, some backstory, because this is kind of a funny matchup that me and him were talking about, because we first got matched up in World Cup 2017. So back then, so that was like almost 2 years ago. I believe back then, I had been a pretty consistent threat for a minute. I wasn't the GOAT yet, but like I was top 5, top 10, bro. I was hot. And Kickasser had just joined the site, I think, or like I think he'd been playing, but like he had just made his first splash in tournaments. I remember Smogon Tour, he made it to the semifinals, which is pretty impressive. Back then, even I hadn't made it to the semifinals at that point. So like I remember it was a hot name. So going into we were supposed to play in World Cup, but he ended up getting, I think, like kicked off Team France or some shit. I don't know what happened, but we didn't end up playing, and I played a sub instead. So that game just didn't happen. But now 2 years later, it's a much more fire matchup because he came in with a 4-0. He had been knocking over everybody in SM. I'm the fucking GOAT, so I'm of course powered up. So this game was a lot more powerful now. So with all that, let's get into the battle. So the thing I had noticed from Kickasser is that he is a very offensive player. I didn't really look at his teams much. I just assumed he's not going to bring overly fat bullshit. He's going to try to bring something he can outplay me with, because that's what usually people like to bring, those types of teams versus me, I've seen, unless you're ABR. But anyway, because he knows he can outplay me. That's the point I was trying to make. Anyway, so Kickasser, I don't really like his team at preview. It's pretty ground weak with Scarflanders being the only resist. But I mean, I understand what he was going for with T-Tar, Pursuit plus Scizor, and I mean it's a pretty good core versus my team as well. If he's able to trap my Heatran, Scizor can go in, and that's basically what I was thinking this whole battle. I was like, okay, he's just gonna try to put on pressure with T-Tar. I also acknowledge that Lele can be a bit of a threat. My Tren is max HP, but if it specs Lele, which he reveals it is, I can't really be switching into repeated Psychics, Focus Blast, and all that shit. Anyway, my team, I know you see the Shark, I know you see Sharpedo, bro. This is not a flex, just like Glalie was just not a flex. These mons are good. I'll be trusting in them. And the Shark is fucking heat. The Shark is so good. So I wanted to use Shark. I got inspired by an old team I was using because I was going through my old videos, because you guys got to understand, there's a reason I picked these mons. I'd be going through my old videos and seeing what shit was working on the ladder, and then thinking, how can I make it legit? So I saw that in some of my lives I had done really well with Sharpedo, and it's a mon that really fits the mold that Glalie had, which was like super strong Pokemon. I don't have to set up, I don't gotta like just do all this bullshit. I just go in and I click its stab move, and this thing is so obscenely strong, and so I wanted to use it. The set, oh shit, I fucked it up, hold up. The set I'm using is Protect, Crunch, Ice Fang, Psychic Fang. And then I have Lele Psychic Terrain Booster, which helps you 1-hit KO Toxapex and 2-hit KO Clefable with Psychic Fangs, which is insane. Rest of the team fills in pretty nicely. We got the double Water Dart core. Greninja is Hydro Pump, HP Fire, Extra Sensory Spikes, and that's like this most amazing core you can put Sharpedo with. HP Fire to bait in Ferrothorn and stuff like that. Spikes, which obviously helps Shark to late game clean, and then Lele, which powers up both of these guys' psychic moves. And then you have your Tang, Scarf, Lando, Tran, very basic core. Just defensively, I really love my team, honestly. CTC made me this shit. I didn't even test this team, because the second CTC sent me this team, I was like, oh, this shit is gorgeous. I definitely do not have to test this. I already know this shit is fire. But going into the battle, oh, the thing is, I have such a big, like, I know I have such a big intro for this video. This battle was 4 minutes long. This battle was 4 minutes long. Yes, it was 4 minutes long. We started at 9:02 and it ended at like 9:05 or 9:06. I'm serious. This is the fastest battle I've ever played in my life, and probably the fastest battle he's ever played in his life too. So let's just hop right into it. Turn 1, he leads off with Landorus T as I lead off with my Specs Lele. I knew he'd lead with Landorus T if it was Scarf, or he was gonna lead off with like, I was pretty sure he was gonna lead off with Landorus T or Lele. So I was like, I'll lead with my Lele. If he leads off with his, I'm just gonna trade Moonblast turn 1, and if he leads off with Landorus, I know he's gonna be Scarf U-turn, so I'm gonna go for the Focus Blast turn 1 to catch the Scizor Heatran on the switch. So I lead off with my Lele. He U-turns turn 1, assuming I'm not Specs, which is, I guess, is a fine assumption because I have a Landorus T. That's more than likely Scarf because Heatran's gonna be Rocks. I go for Focus Blast as he goes into Lele, and I miss, which is fine. I would have done like 15%, but that play I was like, okay, fuck out of here, dude, because I was like, okay, this guy's making some brazy mid grounds. Like, this is the type of player, that's like a type of play I would make. Like, this is the type of player that's like going to try to never let me lose momentum, and I knew that because I watched his games. I saw how offensively he played and how he beat his opponents. I knew he was gonna play offensive off the wall, not off the wall, but just like don't lose momentum. But anyway, him going to Lele was a very nice play there. Looking back at it, I think Psychic was more likely than not my play. I was just afraid of Spadef Tran coming in and getting up Rocks, because that's going to help Scizor come in later on and beat my team if he gets Rocks up. And I was really afraid of him getting up Rocks. So that's why I went for Focus Blast, but he makes a great play, goes into Lele instead. I switch out of here and I bring in my Tran because I'm like, fuck it, I'm getting up Rocks, as he doubles into Landorus T, which is a nice play because he scouts both the Focus Blast if I were to go for it again, which there's no reason I would. But he's able to catch my Tran on the switch basically, which is definitely what he was going for. Now here I'm thinking, dude, look, this guy has already played these like first 2 turns so offensively, just like nothing has even happened in the first 2 turns. All he did was get off some chip on my Lele, and I learned that he was Scarf Landorus T. But I mean, I already knew that from preview. So here I was like, okay, he obviously knows I need Heatran to deal with Scizor, deal with the Moongus to some extent, and it also kind of checks Lele. I was thinking there's no way he's gonna Scarf Earthquake here. That just doesn't make sense. So even though it's turn 3, I am gonna make the noob ladder play. I'm gonna go for Rocks as he U-turns out, but I was so confident in the play. And like I said, this was the oh, I'll show you something funny. You see the timer show up for, the timer never shows up for me, remember, because I know the play in 1 second, but you can see the timer showed up here, 270 seconds, and then after turn 3 the timer never showed up for him again either. We just had the timer never show up. I told you, give him 4 minutes long. I don't know how we played this game so fast, but the thing is, I love playing fast. If my opponent wants to match me and go at the same speed I am, I'll take it every single time. I'll go into like an adrenaline rush and I'll whoop your ass. I love playing fast. So I get my Rocks up here as he goes into his T-Tar, and that's great for me because, like I said, his team is pretty Stealth Rock weak. I mean, everything is neutral to it, and that's going to help a lot for Shark late game. The only problem with this matchup is that the fucking T-Tar walls my Shark because I don't have a water move. So I have to weaken T-Tar, and then Shark can destroy him because everybody's going to die to Crunch. But anyway, he goes into T-Tar here. I'm expecting like a Banded Pursuit or Stone Edge, so I go into Landorus T as he actually just goes for an Earthquake. I don't know why he Earthquake. Like, there's no incentive for me to stay in. I'm not Z Steel. He could tell because there's leftovers and no, like, I mean, I showed leftovers, so I don't really know why he went for that play. But regardless, I'm finally able to get some of my own initiative here. He goes and Landorus T. I'm going to U-turn out and get out of there and bring in my Greninja, I believe. Problem is, I have nothing to punish Scarf Landorus T because everything gets U-turned on because my whole team is weak to U-turn. So I have to go into Gren and then go back into Landorus T, which is bullshit, but it is what it is. I believe now he's going to bring in his Scizor, and I was like, okay, this Scizor is for sure just going to go for a knockoff or a U-turn. More than likely just going to be SD knockoff. I'm going to U-turn out of there and bring in Heatran regardless because I obviously cannot risk my Gren on a U-turn and just die. Gren, oh, by the way, Gren goes ham versus his team, as you can see. Hydro, Extra Sensory, HP Fire fucks up the whole set, so I knew that shit was going to be key too. He goes into a Moongus here on my Earth Power, so in the first 8 turns, I was like, yo, why am I getting outplayed so hard? Like, why are all these guys mid-go? Why can I not predict this guy right? So the first 8 turns he had me. But the thing is, in my mind, I was like, even if all these plays are getting right and he's just saving the Pokemon, all I need to do is try to limit Stealth Rock, weaken T-Tar, and I can win this game easy. That's like the only thing that was in my head at the time. He goes into T-Tar here. I go for Taunt. Kind of a shit play. I don't know. I think I went for Taunt because I was like, what if he lives my Magma? Which I think I don't know, I had no special attacks. So I was like, maybe he could do it and spore me. And if he spores me, I'm fucked. And I was like, and I also didn't want to Magma Storm into his Heat Train and give him a boost. So I was like, Taunt is the best mid ground I can go for. But he just goes into T-Tar. He goes for Pursuit here. The fact that Pursuit did 33 makes me now know that this is Assault Vest and not Choice Banded, which is good knowledge. We're going to Landorus T, and I go for the U-turn again as he goes into a Mungus. What do I go to after that? Heatran? Yeah, I'm going to Heatran, and I just Magma Storm. I know fully well he's not going to go into his own Heatran. No, I Earth Power again, trying to catch the T-Tar, but he goes into Lele, and I was like, fuck, like, stop. Now here I have to keep Heatran, so he goes for Moonblast, and I throw out Tapu Lele. So at this point, no turn has gone right for me, except for keeping rocks off. Oh, actually no, getting up the rocks on turn 3 was very important, because even though I'm not hitting anything, at least rocks are doing some work for me, so it's fine. But yeah, he Moonblasts on the switch, which is a good play on his part. He knows I have to keep my Heatran, so I lose Lele. That shit didn't do anything, literally didn't do anything. Now I go into Gren. I go for my Z Water because I have to kill it at that range, but he goes into a Moongus, so I just waste my Z move, but it's fine because he actually cannot switch around my Greninja. So I'm going to go for Extra Sensory here and knock him out, and that's great for me. He's now going to go into Landorus T. I got to get it out of there, obviously. So I'm going to go into my Landorus T here. Literally, all I got to do is stop him from getting up rocks at all costs. And this team is pretty anti-rocks in general. Like, it's hard for him to get any initiative like that. I U-turn out of here. Scissor's low, so I know that he is forced to Roost, giving me a free chance to bring in my Heatran. I believe I go for the Magma Storm here, right? Yeah, I go for the Magma Storm, because at this point I was like, fuck it, I'm going to go for the Sharpedo win. So I'm going to trap the T-Tar here just so I can get the residual chip, which is a better bet than just going for Earth Power. And I know right now that I can Earth Power, because I know he's going to Pursue 100%. He's not going to Earthquake, he's going to Pursue. So I know I can get the chip on this thing so that Shark can just crunch everybody afterwards. That was my goal. Unfortunately for me, he does just stay and go for Pursuit, and I'm like, this is awesome. Like, Shark is soon to do it. Earth Power again here as he pursued. He actually crits the Pursuit here, which matters because I was at 18. I would have lived, but it's fine. I just go right back into Landorus T, and I U-turn out and knock his T-Tar out. So now it's 4-4. I believe I bring in my Greninja. Yes, bring Greninja because it stops everybody except Scarf Landers from coming in. And the thing is, Kickasser cannot go to anything besides. The problem with Kickasser bringing in Scarf Landers is I just go to Scarf Landers. And unless you HP Ice on the switch, which he's not going to do because it's just too risky, he has no shot because I'm just going to keep being able to U-turn into my Greninja and just be a massive threat. Best part is, knockoff doesn't do anything because of my Z move. He goes into Lele here. I have HP Fire, but I don't want to reveal it. I go for Hydro Pump here. I don't want to reveal it because I know he's 100% going to switch out on my Greninja every single time, so there's no reason for me to reveal HP Fire just yet. He goes into Landorus T as I am going to switch into my Landers. Again, I'd never want to let up the pressure. I cannot go to Tangrowth. I cannot do any of that bullshit. I need to keep the pressure up to the best of my ability, and Landorus T is always a pretty fresh switch into his. I U-turn out again on his Scizor. He's still at 59%. He has to Roost here. Shout out Stealth Rock, man. Shout out Stealth Rock. He goes into Heatran here. Again, I Hydro Pump. The reason I did not HP Fire, even though it might seem free, was on the off chance Heatran was able to live a Hydro Pump. If I HP Fired into Heatran and it was able to live a pump, he could have gotten up rocks. He could have done something, and it could have just been bad. Or he could have just taken the Flash Fire boost and fucking killed my Greninja. So that's why I went for Hydro Pump. He goes into Landorus T here as I am going to go into my own Landers. At this point, I think I kind of have it wrapped up because U-turns into Scizor and I just U-turn out again. He defogs, basically confirming he's done now because I'm just going to U-turn into my Greninja. Finally, now I can reveal HP Fire. Landorus T is at 30%, meaning it's not going to be able to take it at that range. Knock him out with HP Fire, and then Scizor's going to come in and die to my HP Fire as well. So like I said, this game was 4 minutes versus a 4-0 opponent. Shit, I didn't even send out Tangrowth or Sharpedo. So I used 4 Pokemon. That's 444, man. Shout out to Jay-Z. It's crazy. I was so happy with this game. Actually, I was mad as hell after this game because I was like, are you serious? I was going to bring a Sharpedo team and it didn't even come out. I used 4 Pokemon in this game. Technically, I used 3 because Lele missed its Focus Blast and then died to Moonblast. Technically, Heatran, Greninja, and Landorus did everything in this battle. They actually were like the only 3 that did anything. 2 of these mons didn't come out and Lele was garbage. Funny as hell. It just comes to show, just use the standard Pokemon. Fuck the Sharpedo. But Shark would have gone in. But yeah, pretty offensive game. I mean, looking back at it, Grant had a really tight matchup. I think he could have won though if he got up rocks with his heat train at any point. I know he didn't really have too many opportunities, but he should have gone for it. Like, he should have tried to get up rocks ASAP, because Scissor was always going to be the win con. Once he knocked off my Tran, he should have pursuit trapped it. I think going for Earthquake on my Tran was a pretty big misplay after I had gone for rocks. I think I already said that. So I think if there was a way for him to win, it would have been just going for the Scissor win early on. He also could have trapped my Greninja with my T-Tar, with his T-Tar after I wasted Water Z, because that thing is so ridiculously bulky that Hydro Pump isn't even a 2-hit KO. So I don't know. I didn't really like his team either. But yeah, either way, happy with the win. That puts me to 4-1. My team won the week 8-4. And we beat this team, which was the Wolfpack. They were originally first and we were third. Now we're second and we knocked them to fourth. So my team is just on an insane kill streak. I'm in SM again this week. I mean, y'all will see a win next week as usual. So I'll catch you next time. Peace.